wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate. Feel the loving, feel the rhythm, singing oh na na, oh na na.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Charge Room Show. This is Mindset Monday. I am Eliasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy. So come on in. And when you come in, I want you to get your notebook, get your pens, pencil, crayon, whatever you want to use to write, because I need you to write some copious notes. Because what we do on Mindset Monday, we talk about real life issues with real solutions, y'all, because things do not change unless we make a change. So sometimes we have to make some real executive decisions for our life to be the best life that we could possibly live. So come on in, tag some friends, let some friends know, text some friends, but also I want you to like the Charge Room page. I want you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and not only that, subscribe to us on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel, The Charge Room Inc. So type The Charge Room Inc. The notifications will pop up so you can subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, because every single week that we come on every Monday, we are there. So get notified so you will know when we are on and popping, so you can get it all the way together, because life be life and y'all, right? Life be life. And so today I try to pick interesting topics, but not only that, I accept topics. And for the last 2 weeks, I have received some great topics, y'all. So keep the topics coming, because I really enjoy it. I challenge getting in it, digging in it, and really pull out some good strategies that we can live life, do life better, and just grow, because it's about growing and learning. Because so many times people go through life with secrets, they feel defeated, too embarrassed to tell anyone, or just don't know which way to turn sometimes, and it becomes overwhelming. So we are here on Mindset Mondays to lift our minds, allow us to be free, and not only that, we're going to walk in our truth. Walking in truth is a hard thing, but what I am about is showing you ways that hard things can become easier. But all you have to do is learn and apply what you learn, so you can walk that thing out, right? Free. Or when you walk to become free, man, your spirit is so high, your confidence increases, and that sense of pride just shines on through, because it's about the light. I love the light. Yeah. So today we go through things in life, and one of the things that we go through, the challenges, is that sometimes in life, when we're children, our parents teach us things, right? And then when we grow up or go through life, we learn some of the things that our parents taught us, or whoever raised us taught us, whoever our hero is taught us, may not actually benefit our lives as we get older. So we have our beliefs, our systems that we have in place, growing up. And then when we get older, our systems change, because we change. And we are allowed to have our own opinions, right? But then there's a space where some things that we are taught, or what we believe in, or our values, just stay in that box. And that's it. It's just locked in for the rest of our lives. But I'm here to talk about maturing. Us having maturity, us growing in ways of developing into wonderful individuals. But maturity is about learning and unlearning things that may be good or may not be good for us, and making the decision to say, I want to keep this value in my life or belief in my life. And then you could say, you know what, I want to unlearn this and kind of toss this in the garbage. We have options, y'all. We have options, and I just want to let y'all know options are good. So again, the title for today is Unlearning the Lessons of Childhood, right? Unlearning the lessons of childhood. So maturity is unlearning what we are taught as a child by those who were not taught themselves properly. Okay. So I say this is a very powerful statement because it suggests the maturity that it involves to critically assess and reassess the lessons and belief instilled in us from childhood, from especially when the teachings came from someone who we love, trusted, or we may not have had, or who they may not have had accurate or true understanding of the life lessons themselves. So as we grow, we often find ourselves questioning and unlearning certain ideas, replacing them with a more nuanced, informed perspective. So the new way that we're thinking, this new door that we walked through when we had an enlightening moment, right? And we want to say, oh, I like this. I like how this feels. Let me keep this. Let me unpack this one and replace it with that one. You're allowed to do that. And some people don't realize that they are allowed to have their own mindset, their own thought process, their own perspective when you grow up, because the life you live is different from the next person. Each one of us have our own life experience, and it's our journey. And what we do is we must claim our life journey, because a lot of people get stuck in, oh, I'm living for this one. Oh, I'm living for that one. Oh, I'm doing this for the, or I'm doing this for the. You listen, do it for the vine. Are you doing it for the vine? How about doing it just for you? How about living life just for you? Thinking just for you, having your own thoughts just for you, and even lay back and relax just about you, right? So the key part of personal growth is self-awareness. Some people are not aware that they can do and say and think and move on their own without getting permission from anyone else, without saying, oh, grandmama said, big mom said, auntie said, mama said, daddy said, uncle said. How about, what do you say? Put your name in it. What does Ilyasa say? That's why I wake up and say, this is just a word from Yasa. And I'll say what I have to say because I'm standing and I am proclaiming what I want to. And you should have the ability, no, rather, I should say, know that you have the ability to do the same. No one else should have power over your brain, your body parts, your voice, but you. And I'm going to say that again. No one should have power over your brain, how you think, how you use it, how you feel, how you voice things, how you move. No one should have power over it but you. Now, I would like to add, okay, let's make good decisions, but good decisions come with great understanding, okay? So, maturity, again, we talk about maturity. Maturity is unlearning what you are taught as a child by those that were not taught properly themselves. Again, We love our family members. We love who our heroes are. We love the people who love on us, right? We love um our teachers, anyone in society that created such a great influence in our lives, who we look up to, um, or who we followed. We may, some people may not have heroes, but they have influences in their lives or over their lives that they follow a person. So it's, again, it's important when the teachings reflect um the experience and the knowledge of who pours into us, because we may think that they're doing something correctly or doing something appropriate or effectively, right? But there are places where we grow into seeing our own sights, that the people who put impartation in us, the wisdom that we thought they had that was so great, they may at times, I'm not going to say everyone, at times may be outdated, flawed, or incomplete. And then we absorb those lessons because we love them and trust them so much. But let's talk about the challenge with that, okay? The challenge of unlearning. Okay, again, maturity starts when we start to ask ourselves some questions. Is this valid? Is this effective? Is this appropriate? Is this accepted as the truth? Right? This process is not easy because it'll sit inside of you and give you some aches and pains, because you'll look at things like, why would my mother lie to me? My mother wouldn't lie to me. But then you found out that your mother did lie to you, and it hurts. It's painful. It sets you back. You're all over the place, because now you're like in a place of, this could not be happening to me. Why me? Then you start asking these why me questions, right? So, and it happens. And one of the things that happen is, and women taking accountability. If you have multiple partners and you have multiple pregnancies, you delivered them, had children, and you have multiple fathers of your children, you may not have let all the children know that one father is not all of the fathers. So they grew up learning that this one person is all of their fathers, when indeed all of them have different fathers. And then when they grow up and someone in the family blurts out, that's not your father anyway. Y'all know that stuff like that goes on, right? And you're looking like, how can my mother lie to me? My mother wouldn't dare lie to me. So then when you find out the truth, this process of unpacking this thing is uncomfortable. It is uneasy. It is extremely challenging, and it will take courage to walk through this thing of understanding, this process of understanding. And it is uncomfortable to learn the truth most times, because you walked so many years learning and knowing and understanding this is the truth. And then you get to a space where this is not the truth, right? So the discomfort, the learning, the lack of agreement to understand, and you don't want to embrace this newfound information. It's like, how do you unlearn the active process of deconstructing this old way or old knowing of truth to be replaced with something more accurate. You have to have compassion. Yes, you're hurt, but have compassion and then become enlightened. Well, let me back up. First, you have to sit with yourself and say, okay, this is the new truth. This is the old truth. Let me turn the old truth over here and open the new truth to here. It's not easy. It is not easy, y'all, because you're hurting and you're in pain. You are angry at the person that told you this information that is now new to upset the old information that you thought was the truth. So, one, I always say this, have the power of forgiveness for you and for the person who told you the truth, or the person that should have told you the truth, right? You have to be humble. Humility is important. You have to be humble. You have to learn the power of forgiveness. You have to have compassion to what's really going on. And don't embrace, you may not embrace it right away, but embrace it. Embrace the enlightened new information. Okay? I didn't say throw everything out the window again, because it's a process, y'all. It's a process, and you will go through so many emotions, negative emotions. But the positive point is you want to walk in your truth. You want to walk in your truth, and it's not going to come right away. So allow yourself to sit with it, unpack it, be humble, right? Be humble, practice forgiveness for them and for you, right? And sit with this new information with compassion. And because you're shedding new light on the subject, now you have a new perspective, okay? So that's all about the challenge of unlearning. With unlearning, you turn the part you knew to be true, just hold it to the side, but you have to open the new information and be humble with it. Okay? Be humble, practice forgiveness, take as much time as you need, but embrace this new information, right? And then you ask questions because you're not a little child anymore. You ask questions. Now, the person you're asking these questions may not be honest because they're embarrassed at this particular point. They don't know what to say because they're embarrassed. But if they want to come clean, maybe they're, a lot of times it happens when you're, that person is sick or they're dying, or they're moving, and then they want to get some stuff off their chest, and you just so happen to be the brunt of the hurt. So yes, it's uncomfortable, but walking in your truth is always the goal. The influence of early teachings, y'all. The ideas that we internalize from childhood is very powerful. Being a child where things are shaped and influenced, and it helps us make our decisions, right? So, and when we get older, this affects us. How we were bred when we're young affects our decision making of today. I cannot stress how important that is to understand. And some people don't think about it. So, giving an example, like if you're taught on a misconception, a bias, or a fear, it can limit your potential of understanding how you are and how you are to operate in the world, right? So again, maturity involves recognizing those things that limit us and working to overcome it. So, again, being mature, having self-awareness as we recognize what limits us and work on efforts to overcome them. You do not have to live in a box. You do not have to live behind a wall. You do not have to live behind a door. You do not have to live in the dark. You do not have to walk in dark shadows. You do not have to walk under dark clouds. Because some people say, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. That's not true. It's just how you were taught to think. There are so many misconceptions that are in, I call it a ignorant government that people rotate in their mind. And when I say ignorant, I'm not speaking negatively. I'm just speaking of a word of not understanding, of not learning, of not knowing, right? And people operate in these idiosyncrasies that shape their lives to adulthood. And then when you become an adult, you pass that same misconception to your children. So, examples, I always love examples. People who cannot swim. People who cannot swim would limit themselves from traveling, going on cruise ships, from flying, from going to the beach, from getting in the water. Hell, some people won't take showers or baths. They do bird baths in the sink because they want to keep their feet on dry, on the dry floor, right? And they just rather bird bath. It's not a totally clean way of maintaining yourself. It's not effective as taking a bath or a shower, but you do get up and do some kind of hygiene, right? But because you are afraid of water and because you can't swim, it limits you to these things. And because of that, you may stop your child from doing the same thing, from traveling, from um, taking baths or taking showers, right? And it because you operated in this type of lane all your life. So you're going to only teach what you know, what you operate in, what you felt worked for you. But then your child is now affected by how you are teaching them, right? And then they get to a certain space and say, Dad, I'm over Auntie Sharon house and Auntie Sharon takes baths every day. Or I saw pictures of Uncle Dwayne, and Uncle Dwayne was on a beach and he was in the water. And then you start to question yourself, well, mommy, how come we don't do that? But mommy may not be honest enough to say, okay, baby, I'm afraid of water. I can't swim and I'm not gonna swim, and that's that. And some people really get this attitude, like the audacity for them to have an attitude, but they get funky with it when it comes to responding, and that's only because they're embarrassed. Another thing of something is food, different types of food. Some people don't eat vegetables. So they raise their children not to eat vegetables. But then when you come to Yas's daycare, right? I cook vegetables all day long. And the sad part about it, there were children that would come to my daycare. They did not know what simple, real vegetable was. So it's just like a carrot. They could not identify a carrot. Corn, they could not identify corn. Lettuce, they couldn't identify lettuce. Cucumber, squash, they could not identify what these things were. They only ate food items out of a can. So because I'm a chef, because I'm in daycare and my opportunity to teach my daycare children a more wide variety of food type, different types of food, the names of the food, identifying the food group that it was in. showing them how to eat it, showing them how to cook it. So when they're going home, they're like, Mommy, I had this at daycare. I had that at daycare. So now the parents are looking at me like, you let my child eat vegetables? Yes. Your child did not know what the vegetable was. So I taught them. Just because she didn't like it or he didn't like vegetables, look at what you're doing to your children. Vegetables are healthy for you. Vegetables help you maintain a healthier life. But because you didn't like vegetables, you're not teaching your children anything about vegetables. Everything is a can or box. And that's how most of us are not eating healthy. We have a lot of unhealthy children in schools, and we just start serving our children the wrong types of food. So again, we have to become self-aware, be mindful that misconceptions, biases, and fears that we have when we're young, we are then in turn showing our children this is how life is and this is the way to be. And there are options. We're not saying your way is wrong all the time, but there are other options of how to live, how to eat, how to think, how to move, how to love. Love is another one. There's so many people that do not want to be in partnership with another person because of their bad experiences that they had, and they feel living life alone by themselves is okay. It is not okay. God didn't create us in this world to be by ourselves. God made us to have partners, to do things and have help. I know people say I could do this all by myself. I'm sorry, but it takes a village. I don't care whether you're young or an adult. I'm an adult. It takes a village for me to maintain my life, to walk through life. When I'm hurt or don't understand something, I have, besides prayer, but I have people I can reach out to with just a phone call away. Hey, I'm not feeling so good today. Help me walk through these thoughts that I have. Please let me share them with you. So many people are so afraid to speak up and say, okay, I'm a little stuck. Life gets us stuck, y'all. Don't stay stuck. Pick up a phone. And if you feel you don't have any friends or you don't trust anybody, there's therapy. Therapy works. And let me tell you something. Therapy does not work if you do not tell the truth. You could sit there and tell lies or not tell anything or act like you're doing something special when you're not working on yourself at all. That's entertainment. Why waste money to entertain each other? You wasting your time and the therapist's time because he could be helping somebody else that really want to get help. So another thing is critical reassessment. As we get older, y'all, our life experiences, our education and exposure to different perspectives in life often challenge our childhood beliefs, just like I was just saying. Things that happen in our home, and then we go to another home, right? It's different. Even, okay, so I'm giving me as an example. When I was young, I was raised as a Muslim. We had specific food diets. We did not eat pork, right? But and my mom, she didn't cook with pork and she cooked things a certain way. But then when I went to someone else's house and sat with them and watched their mothers cook in the kitchen, and I'm looking like, wow, my mother doesn't cook like that. Or um, they're cooking with pork. I didn't know what pork was until I went over somebody else's house that eats pork and how I love the preparation and cooking of food. I learned to watch different methods of the way people cook. If you know me as a child, like I'm always in somebody's kitchen. I wanna know, I wanna see, I wanna learn. And I take with me to teach myself different methods of how to cook different meals, right? So just with cooking and eating your diets. I realized at a younger age, my household doesn't do things the same way the next household does. So I'm thinking, I'm asking myself questions, but then you don't want to kind of like bump heads with your parents to even ask. But again, it takes courage to ask questions. I'm gonna ask. I'm just that person because it's like, okay, either then you gonna beat me, you gonna curse me out, slap me in my face, or you just gonna explain to me what's going on. And again, you'll get all of these different responses based on the person's um generosity of sharing the truth. And that's just the bottom line of it. And back in the days, everything was like, because I said so. You better do this or you about to get popped. Or get that belt switch over there because you talking too much. Blah, 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 blah. So back in the days, they really did a silence gag order on us because whatever's in our house, stay in our house, and you better believe that was the truth. Like you better shut up. But nowadays, everybody has a voice of opinion and they're going to express themselves. But back in the days, you didn't do none of that. There's no expressing. So now it's even harder for adults are like my age now to express their emotions and their feelings because we was always getting a switch or a belt or something to stay quiet. We couldn't express ourselves. It was like you are to be seen and not heard. So me, I rocked with that. So when I became a young adult, a mature adult, it was a challenge to know that I had the gift of voice. Who means minister to who? Are you kidding me? You got the wrong person. But I know now God gave me this gift of voice. So not only did I learn it, I had to embrace it, which gave me confidence and power of my voice, which allows me to come every week and prepare for this Mindset Monday to teach people strategies to say, okay, it's time for us to live a better life. And this is how you do it. You see how that came about when I thought I couldn't talk? When I thought that I wasn't enough? When I thought I had no confidence in myself at all? Me. I did not ever think I was enough. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I was able to do anything that I wanted to do. Why? Because you're taught be seen and not heard. Words play such an influence of who you are as a person. And please, words, even people of today, they talk to people do not talk to each other with respect. And it's such a hardship to see. It's disheartening, y'all, to see and hear you cursing at your kids for everything. Every other word is a curse. Now you see all these little kids on TikTok and everywhere cursing, and they 2, 3, or 4 years old because we don't know how to speak to each other. We don't know how to respect each other. We don't know how to love on each other. And we have to do a better job of it, y'all. So again, you have to ask questions. And it's about, again, maturity. This is how you mature in your process to improve who you are as a person, walking in your truth, improving your quality of life. This process of questioning what was inside your life of what you learned as a young person to what your life has shown you to be different. The questioning of the process and being brave to ask questions or investigate of why is this different from that and how and what do you want to take and keep and what do you want to unpack and discard. Ask yourself these questions because this shapes us into being better people because we had imperfect experiences, right? We had experiences that made us imperfect people. We are imperfect people, but it's a space where you learn to operate in a more I'm going to say, understanding way of living life, because each of our journeys is different. And it's important that you become aware, like, again, coming up on a good one, the path of self-awareness, to again unlearn the key components to what can make us a type of person that's ineffective to our social society, right? So our lives on all levels of emotional, environmental, right? Um, it makes a difference on how we grow and develop, and it defines our values, and we can live with true authenticity, right? Walking in your truth is so important. So your pathway to self-awareness is being humble, courageous, and truthful. And you have to clear out all the cobwebs. You have to clear out all the dark spaces or the hard places, right? You have to clear these things out, and it takes work. You have to be open-minded, y'all. You have to be empathetic, and you have to learn to adapt to change, because again, what we were taught may not be what we needed to hear. Not only that, it may have been taught inappropriately to us, where it's effective to our adult life. Because the people who taught us or shaped us or molded us, they may not have been taught well themselves. So, and they're not going to tell you either. Older people are the most ornery. They're not going to tell you, they're not going to be honest. They're going to have an attitude, and they become a little bit agitated, and arguments will happen. So watch how you are, be mindful, be open-minded, be clear, because when you unlearn all the bad, and I can't say bad, when you unlearn what you were taught, to open the space of the truth, you will be challenged. It will hurt, and you may be disorganized with your understanding. But if you stay open and breathe, be humble, allow forgiveness to set through for yourself and others, you can better flow into the new information that you did not know before. But embrace this information, and then you'll learn to accept it a little bit more easier, right? So I always say, be mature. Be mature in your thinking. And it's not just about accumulating knowledge or experiences. It's about the willingness to unlearn and let go of what no longer serves us, right? And then continuously refine who you are, find understanding of the world and how you fit better in it. It's a lifelong journey. It just doesn't stop. You're constantly growing and evolving every single day. So allow self-discovery to just come on through you, so you can be in pursuit of your truth. So I hope I helped someone today. I hope I was able to bring some light into someone's life today who was struggling in a dark space or a dark place. I am Ilyasa Simpson, aka, I'm sorry, Coach Illy, and I am so passionate about what I do. It's important because walking in your truth will set you free, y'all. You become so proud of what you have overcome, and the confidence that you stand and you just posture yourself on the high throne of truth, right? So be kings and queens. Make better decisions. Sometimes you have to make that executive decision just to be in pursuit of your truth. So I'll see you next week. Thank you for stopping by. And remember to share. Share this show, y'all. Share the show because I know I helped somebody and I know you know someone that could benefit from what I spoke about tonight. So remember, I'm on YouTube, y'all. The Charge Room Inc. Subscribe to me. Boom, hit that button, hit that bell. Boom, boom, boom. And never miss another show. Again, and not only that, I've been around for 3 years now. There's 3 years of shows that y'all missed. So you thought I was new? I'm not new. Go back and look at me. You will learn some things. And so we can learn and heal together. So see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Hi, everyone. This is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy of the Charge Room. The Charge Room has an additional entity called the Divine Expressions Media. If you're looking to be a show owner, yes, host your own show. Whether you are a content creator or just someone that wants to start fresh from the beginning and you had a dream to be on TV, this is your time. This is your moment. Become a show owner today. I have 5 spots available. And guess what? Your show will be aired on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV platforms. So connect with us today. Text SHOW to 917-810-7400. Come, let's connect to put you on the air.
I wanna get away, but I could use some company.